Hey everyone, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back to Ever Crisis. I'm feeling a little sick today, so don't mind the get up. I just want to be cuddled up in bed, but I want to get these videos out today instead of another day because the very hard Crisis dungeons are ending. They're switching. Last night I streamed this while bundled up like a little baby because I was feeling like crap last night too. But we ended up completing the Shinra building very hard on my no overboost account, but also using the newest costumes and a healing Barret, which is surprisingly, like I said, very good. He's doing great. He was healing the whole entire thing, no problem at all. And he also brought so much utility. And then we brought in DPS Aerith and DPS Tifa with their new Christmas costumes. So this is the very hard Shinra building. No overboost, meaning no duplicate weapons, all golds, no reds, no purples. We're gonna go in, I'm gonna show you guys what I did and just how Barret did as well. All right, so this is the no overboost, which is kind of not super strong, but there's room for improvement on this run. Even though I got an A+, I can go back in there and fight this a little bit differently. The experiment I screwed up on, Scorpion, right? There's a lot of mistakes I made in this run, but we ended up clearing with an A+, which is 550. To get the 500 blue jewels, or blue crystals, I need 630. To get the full clear, 720. So, 720, I'm not sure I can grab that, unless I start overboosting this account, but the 630 shouldn't be a problem if I go back in there and run it, but I'm out of Crisis Dungeon keys. Yeah, so that's going great. Now, this is the team I ended up using. Again, this is all pretty much the newest characters. So if you do pull on Tifa's banner, this is Tifa's costume, Tifa gloves. If you pull on Aerith banner, that's her costume, that's her weapon, and Barret's weapons in there as well. These are not overboosted, only one copy. So if you're just brand new to the game for about a month, you already have your what do you call it, summons maxed out, except for Ramuh, and you've got a couple 90 weapons in the background too. You should be okay. All right, these are the newest banners. So I did up until 12 stamp. I pulled a bunch on this one, but I'm only using the one copy. I can overboost 6 this, I can overboost 3 this. I could do a lot with these characters. Like, I can make this account as strong as my main account. Actually, you know what? Let me know. Let me know if you guys want this account to stay no overboost, or do you feel like I should start overboosting at least 1 or 2 copies? I don't have to go full OB6, even though I want to. But are you enjoying these? Do you like these no overboost account videos, or does it not really matter? Because I've proven time and time again that you don't need to have multiple copies. All you gotta do is just play the game. So, with that, let me know in the comment section. Jumping into this, bringing in Tifa's limit break here, even though I think using another summon would be good here. But having her defense down and her quick limit break lets you cheat a lot of things. Like an enemy's about to attack, you use a limit break, you stop the attack animation, they have to recast it, buying you more time for more ATB. But besides that, limit breaks are all summons. Shiva is probably the most important one here because we're going to take down the Ice Queen in one hit if you can. I can't, but I still have the rest of the Ice team working out. So for my route, Shiva, very important. Not necessary, I would say. But yeah, try to get your limit breaks as high as possible. D-Faith, 1 copy is all you need. You don't need a character with D-Faith on their weapon. It helps, but not necessary. It's really only for the Scorpion, and that's it. Blizzard's in here for obvious reasons. Probably could switch it out for fire, but Barret's job was to heal. He's got his new healing weapon, which on this slot, he does about 1,600 heals. And then I'm using Assault Gun because it also has heal potency on it, but while raising my power defense up by 2 to 3 tiers, AoE. So it's a beautiful combination, right? Aerith is full DPS. All she has is stuff to boost her DPS. And then Tifa, same idea. She's just pure DPS with Esuna. So key things here are Esuna for 2 enemies, the Scorpion and the Experiment. And then D-Faith for the Scorpion. Everything else is just pure damage, right? That's my front weapons. I can show you my stats. This is a no overboost account, so it's not going to look impressive at all. Barret's got 4588, 1100, and 1693 healing. His back weapons are 3 healing weapons, 2 event, 1 normal. Then we got Aerith rocking Umbrella, Red 13's collar, and what do you call it? Sephiroth's ice weapon. Give me 2403, no overboost. This still blows my mind how high that is. And giving me decent ice potency. Level 3. Right? Same thing with Tifa over here. Tifa's using 2 event weapons plus Bald Eagle. Giving me a total of 2,265 physical attack. And she's got level 2 boost ice potency. So, nothing crazy. It's just a straightforward team. Very basic. Anyone can do this. So let's jump in and let me show you the path that I took and how I got there. Alright, so jumping in, like I said, me last night... Not feeling too good. All bundled up in my mage costume. It's just like a big old blanket you can wear. I'm going to go through here step by step why my thought process was what I did. You can go either a Scorpion or the 3 Thunder enemies here. For your good lightning damage, go here first. If you have good fire damage, go over here first. You got to plan this out. It's okay if you really screw up on one of these, as long as you do really good everywhere else. So, fighting the Scorpion for me, let me build up my limit break so I can AoE fight the other enemy. Now, when it came to this fight, I stayed on my healer the whole entire time, controlling attack stance and defense stance as much as I could. And I think I played on ×2 speed. Now, I did fail a lot before I got this working. So again, it's a lot of trial and error. But basically, the idea here is I'm going to put my power defense up because Barret has that for AoE. Making this phase a lot easier to manage because now he's doing physical attacks over and over and over again, AoE, so he doesn't have to heal as much. I won't take as much HP damage. It's all beneficial. What I should be doing the whole time, which I didn't really do, was use Barret's new weapon to buff my Aerith so she does more damage. So these are things that I could improve on, but most of the time I'm just saving my ATB on my healer to make sure I defate them. If he comes in with that full 5 gauge of magic up and then he does his attack, it's all over from there. But you can pretty much buff Aerith, right? Raise your defense so you take less damage, and then during this break phase is when you do defate. As soon as limit breaks are up, including Tifa's somersault, just go right ahead, use it. Melee, it doesn't lower defense, but you might as well. You could save it like I talked about where he's about to attack and then use it right there, so now he has to recast ready laser. So you can use limit breaks to do stuff like that so your ATB bar charges faster. But again, I should have been casting this to make Aerith stronger. I just, I was sick. Excuses. So you can see taking like no damage. Barret heals up 15, 1480, right? And this is a no overboost Barret, not maxed out heal potency, right? I still have like, I think 4 points I can put into more heals. So he's doing really good. Also, he has no overboost weapon, so you don't get that big heal percentage down below too. The rest of this fight is pretty straightforward. I'm over here spamming Fire Blow because he's weak to fire to get that limit break up before all his buffs drop off. So after he does that big laser attack, he's going to have big weakness to magic, physical. So this is where you want to summon if your summons are ready, making this a lot more manageable. If you're in here too long, you're not going to get a good score, but you can see I don't do a lot of damage, so this is me. This is my damage. No overboost account. It's fun. It's a great challenge, right? It's definitely possible. There's nothing stopping this account from completing content. Will it complete it perfectly? No. Does it have to? No, not at all. All right, but I might start overboosting it. We'll see. So this is where Esuna comes in handy. Tifa is going to Esuna whenever someone gets poisoned. Every time you see poison missile, just grab that Esuna. And this is where Barret just stays and waits for that defate. But he's going to go into his whole situation again. Sigil break him down, throw all his magic down. Right? It's a very straightforward fight until you beat it. Nothing crazy here. Now, limit breaks, at this point, don't use them. You can use them to get out of here quickly. You could also use them if you want to be able to get that better score. But I need the limit breaks for the next fight. I could do it where we use limit breaks here and beat this really quickly, and then head to the room right before the experiment to beat that one mob trash enemies, where it's like, I think those guys that do gravity, they screech, they do big damage, and we can rebuild our limit break off of them. So realistically, if I do rerun this, that's what I would do. I'd probably use all my limit break right there melee, and then go into the room and build it back up off the ads, or the mobs. And then go to the 3 robots. But here, I'm being stubborn, and I'm just going right ahead and spamming, even with my healer, spamming all the damage I can to make sure this guy dies. Right? I don't have the best setup for him. Only Tifa has the Fire Blow, and this is how I pretty much deal with it, was using one character with fire. Tifa and Aerith both have ice, so it didn't really matter. But that's it. So we got here, losing a lot of HP just because we have no damage, but so far so good. So the first thing we're going to take here is physical attack up. Just because I don't need healing, I don't need physical attack 20% losing healing, because I wasn't sure how Barret was going to hold if I lost another 30%, but I could have done that, getting more damage to beat this quicker. Again, healing wasn't really necessary in this one. There's only a couple occasions where Barret had to like double heal back up, but for the most part, he was doing great on his own. I wasn't sure if I was going to need the healing for later on here and there, but everyone in this dungeon pretty much does a decent amount of damage, but not enough to make you go, I need max healing. So if you're brave and you're stronger, go full attack if you guys can, because the quicker you're out of a fight, the less healing you have to do. So you really don't need that healing. I use 3 supplements here because, again, this account needs it. I can't go in there with that little bit of HP and then hope to survive, even though I technically think I could, but I didn't. So, nothing boosting here, didn't go in the other room, didn't build up. We're going to go ahead and somersault on the main guy. I'm going to get a heal off of Barret here first, just in case. But I probably could have just done somersault, canceling that poison attack, and then doing all the other summons. So I should have done that. That way would have got more time with ATB, and also Barret's healing would have went towards his limit break bar. But now that it's full and I healed, I just wasted 6 ATB to do that AoE heal. But because I'm not strong enough to one-shot these guys, I got to switch to them. Make sure Tifa is removing poison. Poison's also, I forgot poison's also here. Pretty much 3 enemies in this place do poison. Probably even the queen one, but we kill her in one shot, so it doesn't matter. But this is where Barret's AoE physical comes in handy. So I use agitation, which raises my physical defense by 2. Only taking 1878 damage off of that AoE attack. And then the rest of this fight is pretty straightforward. Remove the poison, kill the side adds, and then break the sigil. So from this point on is just buff, make sure my defense is up, casting magic buff on Aerith, and then Tifa just using her limit break as much as possible. You don't have to save your summons for this. There's going to be a lot of trash mobs coming up. So if you guys can get through this quicker than I did, do so. You can see I'm using my Diamond Dust here. I got limit break over here. He's got his shield back up, but this time we break it. It's a pretty straightforward fight. I just keep DPS until I get out of here. Barret's got AoE heals. And if he does stomp, we just put agitation again to lower that. But you can see I should be using my limit breaks, both of them. But I'm like, I won't. And this is where I lost a lot of score. So I could have got an S rank on this if I just didn't save it. Because like from this point on, I had to fight, I think, 2 trash mobs to get to the next one. Because we're going to do experiment next. So for him, I got like 20,000. I got like 20-something thousand over here. So these first 2 enemies are the hardest ones out of this whole dungeon. We're going to grab the ice potency 15%. I do have this map on my Discord if you guys want it. It tells you what buffs, where the items are, where the enemies are. But yeah, I ended up taking ice potency 15%. And we go in the next room and we fight the trash mob because we're getting ready to go fight the experiment. The experiment doesn't need anything. For the trash mob, very straightforward. It's literally, they have a gravity spell. Let them gravity you. After the gravity is done, you go ahead and heal up. And then they're going to have a moment where they screech. That means they're going to stun someone. All you got to do is let that screech happen. So you can see screech happens. Tifa is now stunned. Here comes an arrow gun. That's when you switch to defense and you heal back up. And that's it. Make sure you're in defense and let them both do their arrow gun. And you just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. You can use somersault here because it comes up so fast. The Dance of Terra, it does it over and over and over. It's a gravity spell. It won't kill you. So just wait. Instead of spending your ATB over and over again, let them do it. And then you just heal back up to max. So you can see Barret's doing a great job here. Just keeping everyone full, topped off constantly. Our HP's kind of low though, so he better be. So yeah, very fast. Go through, get the rare item. And then here's where we're going to fight the experiment. So I'm going ahead. I'm going to use supplements. And I noticed that I don't have enough supplements, and I think I'm going to die to the experiment. Experiment doesn't do that much damage, so I didn't need to do this. Now I'm going to get the other supplements out of here, and then I fought another trash mob. And that's why I shouldn't have saved any of my limit breaks for the first 2 enemies, and I should just went all out, because I had 2 trash mobs. I could have used all this. So these guys are the same idea, very quick. They have that screech, that big hit, you block it, so on and so on. But now that I'm all topped off, I'm going to be using supplements over here. On Aerith, pretty much everyone got their HP back to max, and I'm going to make sure that Barret has some ATB as well, if I'm not mistaken. No, I don't think I give him an ether. We just go in there and we do what we got to do. So, experiment's not hard at all. It's just a little bit of DP. Oh yeah, I did use an ether, so Barret can heal right away. So we immediately use limit breaks, cutting off his first attack, doing some pretty good damage, especially because we have ice potency up right now. Our Shiva is going to do a lot, and our characters, Tifa and Aerith, should be using ice skills to fight them, since the ice potency is up. So after that big AoE attack, this part, I did screw up a lot here. You can see me trying to figure out like, oh, what should I do? Just spam, right? If your character's dying or you have poison on them, make sure to use Tifa to switch that up. I didn't. You can see my Barret looks really, really bad here. What I didn't notice was during the trash mobs, I didn't take off ×2 speed. And I'm like, why am I having such a hard time? And then I realized, I'm like, oh, it's on super ×2 speed, so I can't slow down. So again here, if a limit break comes up, I should just use the limit break, but you can see me saving it. If I just went limit break, we would have just beat this without getting hit here, and then just got worse and worse and worse and worse from this point on. I had to come out, get hit, he revived his HP, the fight took longer, Tifa had to do poison. Use your limit breaks, don't be me. Get that S or S+. I definitely could have got S+ out of this fight. If I had more of the dungeon keys, I would do it, but you can see I got hit by an AoE, I'm getting hit by this poison, he's getting HP back, so just go full out, don't be me. Don't be me. Just go full out. See all these limit breaks? You can go use the trash mobs and bring them back up, right? So here comes Fist Bash. This is where I'm getting nervous. And I'm like, oops. Almost didn't go into defense mode there. But very straightforward fight. Even though I got hit there, I could have used Barret's defense up and then healed afterwards. Taking less damage, getting a better score. But I'm going to fast forward here. And you can see the total I get. Not a good score off this guy. I could have got a good score if I just did that limit break there with Tifa, but 38,000 when you can get about 62,000. So another enemy I failed, losing big chunks of score. So we're going to take the ice potency in the middle. More ice potency, the faster we kill the other guys. Grab all these items, use a tent, right? And then I use a supplement to upgrade. So we're going to go over here. You can see everyone's at... Let's see. I use ice potency on Aerith and ice potency on Tifa, where realistically I only needed it on Aerith and not both of them because Aerith would have done enough, so that would have saved me more points as well. But Tent bringing everyone up, bringing up their HP. I didn't fully max it out because I didn't think it was necessary. So Aerith, you can see here, is missing 31%, but right off the bat, we're going to kill the side ads because we know we will. Starting off with Somersault, going with Hellfire. It's also really good, like, for even me, just re-watching these and be like, oh, that's where I can prove. Okay, that's where I panicked. This is where I can bring in different items, use different items, right? Maybe I should bring in something else besides Fire Blow for the first Scorpion, or more fires, because Scorpion was the biggest issue, right? A lot of things here. So you can see Tifa, even though no overboost, but with the costume and Aerith, doing great damage, 6,087. Barret's going to do DPS here too. Don't heal, don't do anything else. You can do, if you want to, buff Aerith like I did, so that she does more damage. But between her, there you go, between her and Aerith, she's doing plenty of damage, and I'm using Barret as well to make sure we don't get hit by that one AoE hit. So we got that really quick. I believe the buff here was some increase in damage, so I took the damage increase. Magic 10%. No, I took magic 20% because I'm like, we don't need to heal in the last fight, which should have been the majority of this dungeon. But physical wasn't as important as magic increase, so that's why I only took the 10%. So we did take the magic plus 20% over here, because we want to get through that last fight as soon as possible. If you need more defense, then go for more defense, but offense means you don't need as much defense, you don't need as much healing if you can kill the enemy quicker, so never be afraid to push your limits. So, we're going to use another 2 Blizzards. We're going to use this mob to raise all our limit breaks. As you can see, everyone's limit break is coming up. This guy takes a long time anyway, so you don't have to do the whole defense mode, attack, just stay in attack mode, and defense when you need to heal. That's it. Try to come out of this fight with as much ATB as possible, and then you should be good from there. So, this is where I'm going to use Blizzard. You can see I use supplements to get my HP back, and then everyone else's ATB is good, so I didn't do anything else there. That's pretty much the end result. Oh, I gave Ether to Barret again, because I want to make sure Barret has heals ready and barrier ready, so that way he can. So there's a lot of things I didn't need to do here that I did do, using a lot of items. So we're going to fast forward. This is where we're going to straight up use Somersault on Rufus, because the Diamond Dust will kill the dog. The dog doesn't need the defense down. Rufus needs to take more damage from the AoE. So far so good. Going really, really smooth. I just noticed I had no background music this entire time. Oops, my bad. Sorry about that. So from this point on, it's pretty much agitation to make sure we take little damage. We're going to go for our heals here because we start off this fight with a little bit of HP loss already. But the rest of this fight is pretty straightforward. The only thing you have to bring in here is Runeras and not Ruin Blow, because during his Sigil break phase, you have to use magic abilities. So Tifa pretty much can only do Ruin. During that phase, not this one. This one, we just rely on one of them to use their Triangle Sigil. During the phase where he has that big opportunity to just DPS in that opportunity. So go in there and okay, I'll show you when we get there. But yeah, buffing Aerith with the buff. Agitation to make sure our defense is up so we don't take a lot of damage. Making Barret really good. So here, as long as you don't use physical attacks, you're okay. So you see how my Aerith is using Runera? I should have switched the Aerith and just cast her Ice Potency new weapon over and over, the Snowflake ability, where instead she did Runera and we have lots of time to break that Sigil. So we could have just right here switched to her. We didn't need to heal. I didn't need to do anything else, right? We could have used Barret with Blizzards. And then Tifa's the only one that needed to use Triangle Sigil because she's physical except for her Rune Res. So you could pop out a lot more damage here. Again, if I reran this, I'd be using Aerith to do her damage over and over and over again to make sure that we went through that. But this is where I waited, because after this, he's going to do a big attack. I waited for either Hellfire or Tifa's ability to be up. So I used Tifa's alone, which I probably should have used Diamond Dust there, but I was like, I'll just use them together. I should just use it right there on the spot, right? But I wanted Hellfire to be up, so I even could have waited for that and then use them all together. So instead of doing Cura here, I could have just done Blizzard, 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 had my ability up, and then I would have used all 3 Limit Breaks in the 1.25 multiplier, doing a lot more damage, but skipping the summons. Ifrit not doing too much over here. And then Shiva doing like a big damage as well too. See, Shiva's doing great here. Yeah, there you go. Huge, huge numbers. And then from here, I'm manually switching and choosing what my characters are doing because I know they slack. And there you go. That guy's done. Gained a score of 57,000. I could have done much better. And my overall was an A+. Getting me what I needed. The Mithril, the extra coins, right? So, pretty good. Not amazing. I knew where I screwed up. But that's the entire dungeon, and that's how much I missed it by. Not by much, right? 630, I can definitely get that 630. Less items, better score. Yeah, so I'm going to rerun this one, but for now, A+, no overboost, and using all of the new characters, including Healing Barret. So, pretty cool run. So, that's pretty much everything. Hopefully this video helps you out, if anything, to showcase the new characters. Healing Barret, Aerith doing ice damage, and Tifa doing ice damage. All great units, all great costumes. Pick what you guys want. If you already have Sephiroth worked on, beautiful. If anything, no overboost, doing it very hard. Again, I could S-rank it, but way too many mistakes in there. I'll definitely go back and try to do it if I want to spend 100 blue crystals to reset my keys. For now, thank you guys so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll smell you later.